And she's like, I seen you on his post. I said, well, say his name. Just say it. She's like, Cooley. I say, yeah, I mean, I used to talk to him. Like, I was, kind of am still. So, what you asking for, okay? So she was like, that's crazy. And I was like, why? He was like, because I used to fuck with him. What you say? Y'all, this lady told me how basically right around April. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel.
Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Hands in the stove, how the faucet's running and I keep looking at you.
Welcome back. Welcome back, you guys, to the Pretty Candid podcast channel. I am your lovely host and storyteller, Marissa H. And I am back at y'all again here at Dawa Studios, giving y'all another story time, as y'all can see by the title, okay? If you are new here, go ahead and drop me a like and hit the bell and subscribe because, I mean, you're going to love it here. I ain't finna argue with y'all. You're gonna love it here. Just go ahead and hit that. And if you are a returning Candid crew member, thank you so much, cousin, for returning. And we is finna get into it today. So, this is a long-awaited story time. If you figure it out, whoop-de-doo. And if you don't, whoop-de-doo. So, there's that. I had met a fellow, and we got really close, really cool. We started, like, hanging out a lot, going on dates, all of that. So, like, essentially, like, we kind of start dating. What we gonna call him? We're gonna call him Cooley. So me and Cooley hanging out a lot, like we seeing each other every week, right? And so it's starting to get to the point to where I'm kind of like, is that my man or like what's tea, you know? Now obviously, like around this time, I kind of was still talking to other people, but not necessarily dating other people like I was doing Cooley. I noticed that like Cooley was moving a little different. So we went from like, mind you, y'all, like when I say we locked in, like we talking on the phone every night, we texting every day, I'm seeing him every week, we spending times going here, doing literally things that you do in a relationship, right? So maybe like around right after Mother's Day, right? He had got me a gift, and I was kind of surprised because I was like, "Damn, okay, you really fucking with the kid, like, all right." So it was like late May, early June, and like June is really hard for me because it's like Father's Day, and like my father is passed, so I kind of was already feeling icky. But around late May, I kind of started noticing like, Cooley, you ain't moving too cool. Like, what's tea? What's going on? So like early June, everything was still progressing though, but I did feel like he was moving just a little weird, right? And I'm one of those people in the very beginning. I like to see what you're gonna do versus me trying to put some input and then you trying to make footsteps behind what I said. So, how did it go? So then basically, like mid June, right after Father's Day, like we had spent a time away from each other. He was with his family. I was with mine, obviously. And so right after that, I just noticed the distance start to come, a little bit of breadcrumb and all of that. Like, I be knowing what I know, okay? So I already was on game, like, oh, okay, I seen this before. Because I didn't did it before, and I didn't had it done before. So I brought it up. I was like, hey, is you cool? Like, is everything okay? Like, you know, like, I just feel like you're kind of being distant. I don't know if it's something that you got going on, something going on with me and you. Like, let me know. He trying to reassure me like, nah, it's nothing like that. I just, you know, I've been busy, work, I be so tired. All of the BS excuses that men give you when they low key starting to like distance themselves. So I kind of took that for what it was. Okay, fine. Now I was kind of like, okay, all right, whatever. Randomly, right? He kind of just like was acting super weird. So I confronted him like, hey, what's up with you? You know, he starts rumbling on, talking about, you know, I got this going on and I got that going on and I just mentally don't feel right. And so I'm kind of taking it because here's the thing I believe in. I believe when people, you don't know them that well and you're still learning them, you got to take people at face value. Like you really can't, you can think completely negatively and be like, oh, you on BS. You're playing. Cool. Or you could take what people say. So I decided at the time, like, okay, especially when it comes to mental health, I'm very like an advocate for that. So I wasn't finna play with nobody if that's what they saying. So I was like, well, what's going on? You know, I'm trying to talk to him. He kind of not being too open about it. And he was just saying like, oh, I think I'm finna start going to therapy. I've seen this, I've seen that, all of these things. I want to be a better person, or at least, you know, sometimes be there to support you. Why would you not want that, right? Right. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Y'all know how somebody give y'all a BS answer and you kind of just like forget? I forgot. I don't even remember the answer he gave, but basically it was on some like, I'm a man, I gotta figure it out, and and all of these things, right? So I said, okay, cool, good. Everything was fine. All of a sudden things is going sideways. Instantly in my mind, in the trenches of my mind, I was like, it's another bitch. It gotta be another bitch. But I was trying to be positive and leave my old thinking away. Like, you know, leave the past in the past. Okay, cool. So he was like, I'm gonna still tap in with you. We still gonna be very much like connected. I don't wanna I can't give you the same thing I've been giving you, and I just wanna like be honest about it. You ain't really being honest because you really didn't tell me up front. I had to kind of poke and prod, but okay, whatever. I remember him telling me like, oh, I'm finna go with my people to Houston, this, that, and the third, all of that. So I was like, okay, cool. Now, around this time, I ain't gonna lie, I had kind of slowed up on going out a little bit. So I started going back out, hanging out with, like, I've been hanging out with friends, but like, I started going back out. I'm outside, right? My favorite nigga gone. So I never forget, I was finna get ready to go, and I was on his story, because whatever. I was on the story, and I was looking, and I kept saying, like, I'm on the story, like, looking like, okay, all right. And then I see him with like his sister in a car and a little stamp that say Houston. So I'm like, I thought she was going with your people, but okay, whatever, cool. But then I remember I tried to text him and he wasn't texting back. So I'm not gonna even lie to y'all. I did have a mini crash out, cause don't play with me. I'm never the one to be played with. I do all of the playing and I really don't even play with nobody. So, you know, I had a mini crash out. I definitely did tell him like, hey, you got me up and I don't like it, and I'm not that, and you could just be honest, like, you moving weird for what? He was kind of getting the attitude, just being very not how he been with me. So I instantly was in my mind like, it's another bitch. I already know. Okay. It gotta be. But then also I'm trying to be on the positive side of things and be like, oh well, maybe, you know, he just like the mental health and all of that, right? I'm teeter-tottering, y'all, between Marissa and Nicole. Nicole like, it's another bitch. Marissa like, it's mental health, you know? So, okay, some time go by. We ain't really been speaking. I threw my baby a graduation party, right? And I remember I asked him like, hey, like, do you mind helping me with the like decorations and stuff, hang stuff up? But it's kind of awkward because like we haven't been speaking. We ain't sleeping together no more. I ain't coming over your house. You ain't coming over my house. Like, things is very like awkward to me, right? And so another thing that I kind of noticed was like he was on the phone while he was putting up the decorations, like on the phone talking to his homeboy, and it was like you was just disassociating yourself. And I'm just like, this nigga weird. Like, what's going on, right? But I like dudes still, you know. I still like Cooley. So eventually, like, we get done with the decorations, whatever. Hey, he was like, you want to go get something to eat? So I'm like, okay, cool. We get in the car. The car connects. Y'all already know. The car connects to the phone connects to the damn car. Okay. The phone started ringing. It's a number. It started with 627. I'm instantly like, I'm going to remember that number. Remember that I said that number started with 627, y'all. It's going to come up later. So I'm looking. He literally instantly declined. The number ain't saved, though. So I'm like, okay. All right. Okay. All right, cool. So that same day, like, I was like telling him, let's put a pin there. There was a lady that really had a thing for your girl, right? And this was prior to Cooley. We're gonna call her Silk, because she's sneaky and slimy and like Silk. I don't even know if that sound right, but that's what we're gonna call her. So Silk had a thing for me. I had had a thing for her. Not even gonna cap it down. But we never got to really truly link. Cause in some backstory, Silk old boyfriend, when I used to sell like desserts and stuff, he used to always buy from me, but he would be trying to like low key shoot his shot. So I used to think in the back of my mind like she really kind of don't like me or whatever. But we addressed it. It was fine. It was cool, right? So around this time, we start kind of like having me and Silk start having more conversation. I ain't talking to Cooley. I ain't gonna lie. I do be checking Cooley's story every now and again. Cause what is you doing? Are you lying? But me and Silk talking. So it's getting to the point to where like we talking on the phone, we catching up with each other. And then like I kind of didn't like how her conversation was going and like how she was just being very inconsistent. So I sent her a text because I'm not a ghoster. I said, hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't like how your conversation's going. I don't like that you're not consistent. I'm not fucked up about it, but like I'm grown as hell. I don't play games with nobody. So yeah. So she wrote me back. I never responded. I forgot that she had asked me for my address months and months and months ago back in March to send me a gift, but she never sent the gift. Y'all, I get home and there's this big box of Tiff's treats. So I'm really excited. But then instantly when I pick up the box and go in the house, I'm like, well, who the hell sent it? I'm like, oh, it's Cooley. Because he know. Y'all, it was not Cooley. It was not Cooley. It was Silk. And she wrote me this long letter. I'm going to insert it right here so y'all can see that I'm not capping it down. Storytime is 100% real. She sent me this letter basically trying to reconcile and be like, I apologize. I hope we can reconnect and this, that, and the third. I ain't going to lie. Silk was smooth as hell. Another reason why her name's Silk. So we ended up kind of like having a whole deep conversation. We was on the phone for like 2 hours that night. I'm like, girl, I'm kind of feeling you. Past the looks and the booty, like I'm kind of feeling you. So we start hanging out with each other, right? Now, keep in mind, no, I'm lying. We started talking more, but then we finally went to go hang out. Keep in mind, y'all, I ain't said nothing to Cooley. Cooley ain't said nothing to me. However, there was a slick shot thrown at me on Facebook, and I seen people all in the comments. Also, let's backdate a little bit. During the time me and Silk talking, I seen, because he used to have this thing about posting zodiac signs and shit like that, and he would always post about a Pisces. Y'all, he started posting about a Sagittarius and a what was it, a Libra, and I'm like, what the hell going on? Like, what? Number one, I don't like no Sag, and number two, who is the Libra, right? So I'm already like, all right. And I remember I commented on the post, and then he ended up deleting it. Yo ass is caught. Now I know what you're doing. Cool. So I had already said it's fuck him for life, right? It wasn't fuck him for life, y'all. So in the midst of all of that, I literally was talking to her. I go over her house, right? I'm trying to remember in these things. So I get to her house, we talking, and she had this dog, and so I'm complimenting the dog. We talking. Me and her start talking about astrology and stuff like that, because I'm an astrology girly. She was too. And so in the midst of that, like we talking, we drinking, and I don't know how the conversation came up, but she was like, I think I know somebody you talk to other than me. And I was like, I don't talk to nobody else. She's like, yes, you do. And I was like, no, I don't. She's like, yes, you do. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I was like, well, who do you think I talk to? And she's like, I see you on his post. I said, well, say his name. Just say it. She's like, Cooley. I say, yeah, I mean, I used to talk to him. Like, I was, kind of am still, sort of, kind of. Why? Because I like to keep a bitch on her toes. What you asking for, okay? So she was like, that's crazy. And I was like, why? And she was like, because I used to fuck with him. What you say? Y'all, this lady told me how basically right around April, her and Cooley had a night. Now, let me tell y'all what's crazy about this. Me and Silk didn't stay far from each other. Hot 10 minutes. So that mean that you was in the same goddamn area with somebody else, probably on the night that you told me you were busy, right? Because I'm saying like April when, and she kind of giving me a roundabout date. I'm like, okay. I can kind of look past that a little bit because, again, this ain't my nigga. She's like, but you still talk to him? So I'm lying now at this point because I want to see what else she going to say. So I'm like, yeah, I still talk to him, right? I still talk to him. So I'm like, okay. I still talk to him, like, what's next? She's like, because I know somebody he talking to right now. We're going to call this girl Hefty. He's like, he talked to this girl named Hefty. I said, what you mean? She said, well, this is what actually happened. So one day she called me. She was out shopping somewhere and she was on FaceTime and we was all in a group chat and I just so happened to know Cooley was in the back with her. And then me and her went on a trip like weeks after that and she asked me had I ever fucked with Cooley. I told her yeah. So I'm like, okay, what's the time stamps on all this? Y'all, she like, oh, this was like late June. Remember I told you the nigga was acting funny. I said, okay, okay. And she was like, yeah, like we was really gonna all do a little. I said, what you mean? She was like, that was the plan. I said, that was the plan. Y'all was finna all three get down? And she like, yeah. Y'all, at this point, my heart is in my ass, but I can't let no hoe see me sweat. So I'm like, okay, what you trying to tell me? She's like, they talk right now. Like, they're still talking. Like, we actually was plotting to get him back, but we busted him out and exposed him while we was on the trip. And we called him, and we was all sitting right there, and he didn't know what to say. And he was trying to lie and say he ain't never fuck with me. Right? Now, it leaves you to wonder, So now I'm like, okay. Okay. All right. So I start asking her questions like, when you say y'all fucked around, what you mean? She's like, it was a one-time thing. That was it. Like, I ain't never do it again. So then she starts showing me messages with his number and a contact photo. I'm like, so you still got the number? She's like, yeah, I just don't delete numbers. Yeah, ho, whatever. Tell that lie to somebody else. But okay, now I'm in it. So she's showing me messages. I'm looking at the messages. She's showing me shit about the other girl. And I'm just like, she's like, I did not know. She's like, I had a feeling y'all was talking, but I ain't know like y'all was like that. And I was like, yeah, I ain't know that either. She's like, what you mean? I said, again, apparently we wasn't. Like, I don't know. So then we sitting there for like a cool minute. We drinking, the dog running around. I'm looking at her like, cause like, one part of me is like, damn, you just put me on a whole bunch of information I ain't know about. Now I get to decide how I want to move. But another thing is like, ho, you been liked me. I been liked you. I had no idea y'all was doing what y'all was doing, but you might have had an idea that I was talking to him and you still chose to talk to me and fuck on him. What? Are you okay? Like, what's going on, right? I don't like no weird, I don't do love triangles, none of that octagon. I don't play like that. So I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I don't know if I should back the shit out of her for playing in my face right now. Or is she playing? Like, I'm just sitting there with myself. She's like, you okay? Like, she rubbed my knee and I'm like, yeah, I'm straight. I said, I'm just really trying to make sense of everything. Like, a lot of things is not adding up and it's kind of weird. She's like, girl, but fuck him because he's so weird and he's this and that. You know how bitches do when they start fucking with somebody. Honestly, I think deep down, now reflecting back on it, I think deep down she ain't like the fact that he was denying her. Okay, so put a pin in that. We're gonna come back. Me and Silk keep dealing with each other. At this point, I haven't said nothing too coolly about what I know. I haven't said nothing to him or nothing. Now I ain't gonna lie. Once I found that out, most people do what most people do. Sometimes you might say, "Oh, I don't give a fuck about him and her or what's going on." Me, I gotta get to the bottom of it. So I'm like, okay, I want to know. So I go look at the girl. She sent me her page. Honorable mention, she sent me her page because here was the tea too. Silk friend was sisters with Hefty, right? By the way, what we gonna call her? We gonna call her Little Bill because that's exactly what she looked like. Okay, so at this point, I'm like, I'm finna do my thing, get upset about this, but now I know what I know, and if the nigga ever come back over this way, I'm on his. Okay. So me and her keep dating, we keep talking, whatever. I ain't gonna even say we was dating, we was kicking it, right? Because dating mean that we doing a lot of, no, we was kicking it. So, okay. Some time go by. Now it's this other girl. We're gonna call her Tiana. Tiana, me and her was cool. We kind of like got cool whenever I was selling clothes years ago, and she kind of always, you know how you meet somebody on the internet, then y'all kind of become cool, but like y'all ain't really that cool. It was that type of deal. So she comes to me like maybe 3 weeks after this whole thing with Silk that happened. Mind you, me and Silk still kicking it. I got me another little year. I'm having a ball. I got a roster, right? So she's like, hey friend, what you doing? This is Tiana. She like, hey friend, what you doing? I was like, nothing. I'm moving around, da da da. She was like, okay, I'm gonna just cut straight to it. I said, okay. She's like, your name came up in a conversation today, and I'm just trying to figure out what the hell going on. I said, okay. So she said, so I'm friends with this girl. We're gonna call her Dino. Dino. I'm friends with Dino, and I was going to get my hair done by Dino cousin. Something about how this man came up. So she say Cooley name. So now I'm tuned because I'm like, okay, what about it? Basically, my name came up in a conversation like, oh, Cooley fuck with fat hoes. Now I'm gonna say this: the fat hoe, fat girl, fat bitch, all of that really don't offend me for real. But I don't like it when people is spewing that to me based off of they mad about a man. I don't really too much. I don't respect it. It's not respectable, right? So I was like, what are you talking about? So she was like, basically, she's like, Dino told me that Little Bill, some other girl, and Hefty was all on this phone. So now she said Hefty name. So now I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, and they was on the phone confronting him or whatever. But apparently, I guess they found out about you because Silk went back and told Little Bill that y'all are dating. I said, what? Dating? What? And I'm just like, okay, I guess. So then she was like, yeah. And so I guess they confronted him and asked him, like, oh, you fuck with fat hoes? And he was like, yeah, I guess if that's what you want to say. And then Little Bill asked him, like, oh, did you ever fuck with this bitch named Marissa? And he was like, yeah. And then Hefty was like, so you do like fat hoes. Like, that's your MO. That's what you like. And then they just got off the phone real quick. And I kind of don't want to go get my hair done by her because you my girl. And, like, I don't know if she know and I don't want to be in the mix. So I'm trying to process all of this, but I'm also sitting there like, how the fuck did this bitch go tell them that we're dating? Why did you even bring me up to your friend, hoe? And I know friends talk, but damn, don't talk about my shit. Like, what? So I'm already annoyed. So I'm like, okay. I'm going to sit on it, though. I said, so you telling me between 3 people, my name came up and then it came up again? She said, absolutely. That's exactly what I'm saying. I said, okay. She said, and I'm just putting you on game because I know you be outside, bitches be in their feelings, you know, and I just want you to be prepared. I was like, okay. A hoe ain't gonna fuck with me, but okay, cool. So I decided I ain't gonna say nothing, right, to Silk because me and Tiana cool, but I don't know Dino, I don't know Hefty, and I don't know Little Bill for real. So like, for all I know, you making that shit up, right? So I kind of just take it for what it is. I'm like, whatever. Me and Silk finally go on like a first date, and let me say this: we go to a taco truck, right? Cause she took so goddamn long to get ready, and we go to a taco truck, and then we was trying to go paint at the park, right? But it was kind of too dark, so we just ended up painting at my house. One thing led to another, and yeah, okay. So now I'm like, okay, this is cool, whatever. But I'm starting to notice like she's really starting to like me. And I'm kind of just like, okay, like in my mind already, I'm kind of already like, I'm going to have to figure out how to tell you like we ain't going to take it that far, but we cool, right? So in the midst of all of this, I end up going to Miami, right? I go to Miami and I go with a couple friends, whatever. I'm on the beach, y'all, drinking a Corona. I look at my phone because it's buzzing. I look down. I got a message from Cooley. Mind you, I done deleted him off socials. I done deleted his number, everything. I have no way to contact this man. Why you contacting me? Because from what I hear, you've been in cahoots for. That's probably who you was pressing decline on that call in the car that day when you was at my house. He hit me up and he was like, oh my God, how are you doing? I read it. I don't say nothing. So of course he go on my story. I got pictures of me in my bathing suit. I got pictures of me buns out, sun out, and on the beach. You know, water, all of that. I look good. So he commenting under it, saying stuff, so whatever. So I finally reached back out to him, and I'm like, what? What is it? What do you want? Like I'm finna block you. He's like, please don't block me. I really need to talk to you. I miss you, this, that, and the third. I said, nah, you don't really miss me, and I don't know what you would want to talk about. He's swearing up and down he want to talk. He's like, please just let me talk to you. Let me take you out. This, that, and the third. Can I call you later? I said, nah, you can call me on here because I got you blocked right now. He's like, could you please unblock me? I'm like, And because I like to do shit for the plot, what I do, I unblock him, right? So like literally not even an hour later, he like texted me telling me like how he missed me and he want to check on me and all of these things, right? And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, like at first I kind of was like, ugh, I don't want to deal with this. He's like, I know I'm foul as fuck for how I handled you. And like, I know you probably know some shit. And so instantly I'm starting to think like, damn, maybe Tiana wasn't lying. Cause what he mean, I probably know some shit, right? Cause the last time I went on your page, you ain't posted nobody. I posted nobody. It ain't like you didn't popped out or nothing. So like, what you talking about? So now I'm really trying to do it for the plot. So um, we end up talking, and I told him like, hey, I ain't getting back from Miami for a few days. He's like, is it cool if we schedule a day? I cook you dinner, or we could go out, whatever you feel more comfortable with. I don't want to go out with this man because I don't want nobody to see me with this man because I don't know what this man got going on. So I was like, you could cook me dinner, we could talk, right? I feel like everybody deserve at least that, a conversation. Even though I think you moving foul, okay, whatever, right? Cool. So at this point, I'm just kind of thinking like, what if them hoes ain't lying? What if that hoe is not lying? What if Tiana was telling me the truth, right? So fast forward a couple days go by, he's still trying to talk to me. I'm kind of barely, giving him any talk. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm starting to act a little funny with Silk, and I feel it, right? But I'm trying not to. But luckily for me, she was already kind of like not the best texter, so it was fine. I just wasn't calling as much. So anyway, get to his house. He cooked dinner. It was pretty good. Kind of surprised. I ain't know that nigga good like that. And we start talking. And so he's basically telling me how, I wasn't completely honest with you. I'm really sorry. I hate that it happened like this. I said, so what do you feel like you wasn't honest with me about? Because I already know some shit. So I want you to tell me, right? Because I ain't going to reveal my hand. So he started telling me, he was like, I did not go to therapy. I kind of was in cahoots with somebody else. I said, yeah, I figured that much. So I let him spill everything, spill his guts, tell me everything, right? So then I say the name. I said, so who is Hefty? And why is she talking about me? Because I'm trying to see if Tiana lying. He was like, how do you know that? I said, don't worry about how I know that. Who is Hefty? And why is her and Little Bill talking about me? So now I done said two names. So he thrown off. His eyes is like, fuck. And he's like, okay. Now, this is his version. His version is he at home. He's like, nah, I ain't gonna lie. Me and her was kicking it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, and I ain't gonna lie, like, when I was talking to her, I was still talking to other people. She get to getting mad. She like to put her hands on people. I had to restrain her one time. Like, she just want to, like, get thrown. Basically, like, she just want to get hunched on. That's it, for the most part. Like, it's not giving that. Like, we ain't going on dates and stuff. And I was like, okay. I was like, you tricking a little? He's like, a little bit, because, it come with that. But, like, we ain't going on dates. He's like, and to be honest, like, my job, I ain't been getting as many hours because, I think he was on contract at the time. And he was like, I haven't been getting that many hours, so I ain't even got the money I do got, I'm not doing that with it. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. He tells me that he was at home and he get a call from Hefty. And Hefty and Little Bill, her sister, is on the FaceTime or whatever. I guess they talking a little bit. She just so happy. You know how you call somebody more for background noise, whatever. So then the sister like, oh, Cooley, I got a question. Lil Bill asking Cooley. He like, okay. And she was like, so you like fat bitches? Instantly in my mind, I'm like, that bitch Tiana wasn't lying. Let me finish though. He say, I mean, I like plus size women, yeah. She say, oh, okay. So like you was fucking this bitch named Marissa, like y'all, you was going with her, like that's your like, cause she's fat. I heard. Bitch, it's on me. Like what? So he was like, yeah, we dated. So he said, Hefty turned her neck like, so you dated her? So you like fat girls? That's what you like? I honorable mention, this girl got a double chin as well, and she's not small, and she's short. So the weight, like, anyway, we're gonna get to that. And so he was like, I mean, I'm not seeing the problem. why y'all asking me about her? They not saying why they asking, right? They don't say nothing. He said, so I'm confused on how they even know who you are. And I'm thinking like you didn't reach out to them or they didn't reach out to you. I didn't know what to think, but I didn't say nothing to nobody at first because I'm just like, what the hell? He said they get off the phone. Hefty had an attitude about it. The sister laughing. They get off the phone. Cool. He said you didn't really get brought up again after that, but she would say little slick, sly things like, "Yo, you know you like fat bitches" and all this little shit. And I was like, "Oh, okay, okay." So then he like, "So what do you know?" I said, "I know that you was fucking with Silk while you was fucking with me." Eyes get buck again. He like, y'all, I ain't gonna even lie. Did I crash out in that man's house? I absolutely did. Did I do something I probably shouldn't have did? Yes. Am I gonna say it on this podcast? No, because I don't know who's watching. But yeah, I crashed out a little bit, and I had to let him know I'm not that. It's never giving that. He looked at me and said, "How do you know that?" And so then I realized at that very moment, I didn't have to tell him about Silk. But off the street, because now it's coming to my mind like me and you have slept with the same person and me and you have slept together. What the fucky? What y'all got me on? Like, what's. Now I'll be honest. This is going to be a 4-part series because this shit is long, okay? And we really just getting to the tip of the iceberg and not even the tip, okay? A lot of things happen after this. Again, I'm using code names. Again, this is real life. Be very careful with y'all comments on here because I will delete them or report you. But I'm going to leave y'all on a little cliffhanger here. Thank y'all so much for tuning into my story time. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. You didn't got all the way to end to my juicy tale. Go ahead and subscribe. Ring the damn bell and tap the thumbs up. Okay? Okay? All right. Love y'all. I'll see y'all soon. And thanks y'all for tuning in. Bye. And cut.
Focus on me. Can you focus on